From 23dB Production Studios in the Garden State, New Jersey, this is The Art of Music Tech with your hosts, Fela and Dennis.
Let's go, and welcome to the Art of Music Tech podcast. I'm your host, Fela, and my co-host, Dennis.
Hi, everybody.
All right, we're part of 23dB Productions. We do live recordings, mixing, mastering, studio recordings, all things audio. Thank you for tuning in today. Today we're talking about our recent gig, a live recording gig at the Bowery Ballroom, a Live Nation venue. We've been recording there. Well, this is our first gig there. We've recorded at Williamsburg Music Hall over in Brooklyn, which is also a Live Nation venue. But yeah, that night we recorded The Wallows, a new band recently signed to Atlantic Records. Their lead singer is also an actor. He's in the Netflix original 13 Reasons Why.
Dylan Minnette.
Yes, those guys were great. Very easy to work with. Great show. Again, sold out. We had everything we needed for the gig, and it was great. We wanted to give you a little recap on the day. On all of our gigs, we have a checklist, gear list, the stuff we need, making sure it works the day before, checking out everything. Stuff you'll find at most audio shops. You're going to have to check out all the gear. You should before you go out, and you don't want to embarrass yourself in front of the client or anything,
making sure you have enough of everything.
Exactly. And that could easily be avoided if you just check out your equipment the night before. So yeah, we're going to go over our gear list. Another noteworthy thing happened while we were working on setting up the stage and stuff. All of a sudden I hear, "Hey guys, I'm with the Rolling Stone magazine."
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah.
We were too busy. Honestly, we were too busy.
Yeah, I just heard that, and I was like, wow, that's the kind of gig you really want to do in New York City when you hear that happening. Yeah, so the Wallows, they have a hit single right now, Pictures of Girls. And it definitely got the crowd rocking, that sold out crowd rocking. So shout out to them doing big things. And
he got 4.5 million followers on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Huge
big
star.
Follower. Yeah, he's a huge star.
Yeah.
I remember probably last year, right? I'm not sure what year this particular show came out, but I remember when I'm not a Netflix fan. I don't really watch Netflix. But once when I turned Netflix, I saw his face in 13 Reasons Why on, once you turn the Netflix on, you see Netflix originals, and I remember his face.
Oh, yeah. Once I started doing a little research, I saw an interview with him on the Ellen Show. So that really does mean you're on another level when you get to the Ellen Show.
They're popular, too.
Yeah, very popular. So that was very cool to be a part of. And, we're going to go over the gear list a little bit now.
So the gig was a multi-track recording of the entire show.
Yeah. So we did a split off of the audio. Unfortunately, the Bowery Ballroom only has a 2-way split, which means it can only go to monitor in front of house. So we had to create our own 3-way split for the multi-track recording that we were hired to do.
Which we did. We set up 12-channel split snake, Klotz split snake by the drums, right?
Yep. We split the drum, bass, and synth channels right out of our splitter. And then we used Y cables, Klotz Y cables, Y XLR splitters. They're made great. They're heavy duty. We trust them. We use those on vocals, and sounded great.
And the trumpet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and
Three
trumpet.
vocals and the trumpet.
Yep. Both guitar players were on vocals, and the drummer was on vocals. So
But the way we split the other channels, we had 22 channels and 2 audience mics. So total 24 channels, right?
yep.
And the way we split the other 10 channels, we mic'd 2 guitar amps, a bass amp, with our own mics,
Yeah, with our own personal collection mics, and sound a little
home
bit.
run, straight into a recorder.
Yeah. So they'll sound a little bit crispier than what you would hear at the live show, because we were using condenser mics on a lot of on the cabs.
And then we split a keyboard left, right through the DI box.
Yeah.
Input through.
Yep. That's a great way to split too. I mean, you got ground lift right there. It's
Which we had issue with that anyway.
yeah.
It worked out for us having 12 channel split snake and then splitting keyboard separately and still having an option of XLR going out of the DI box in the house. But we're getting it from the DI split into
Yeah.
a recorder.
Yep.
That's how we did it.
Straight 1/4 inch into the interface.
Okay, so yeah, let's list all the setup and equipment we had for the gig.
Yeah, so we keep the Focusrite Claret, which has 24 channels of recording. We got at 8 channels in each interface. We keep that in the SKB shock mount and waterproof rack. And that really came in handy on this gig because it was raining cats and dogs.
Pouring.
Yes,
It was.
and I wasn't worried at all.
The rain.
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of a bulky rack, 10 space rack, kind of bulky, but for that occasion, it was like, oh, this is why we got this. It didn't matter. I didn't feel like, oh, you got to hold it a certain way so nothing leaks. It was like, oh no, I know this is rock solid. So
You feel safe
yeah.
because you carry expensive gear in there.
Yeah, I mean it was great because we got it for like $100 on Craigslist.
On Craigslist, yeah.
And it's like a $500 to $600 case,
Yeah.
So that's the grand thing about Craigslist and eBay and things like that. Okay, and next, so yeah, we talked about the 12 channel Clot split snake. We split off of the drums and bass and synth. And then we had a 10 channel Clot snake, which also was a home run right to our setup with the again the
bass cab.
with the guitar cabs.
I think bass cab went through to
Oh, that didn't go into the splitter?
bass, because bass DI went through a main split snake.
Oh, okay,
and the bass
I
cab
thought it would. Okay,
we
That's
set
what-
up our own mic.
Yeah.
Because we double mic bass and 2 guitar amps. So that's how
Sure did. And we with every gig we bring 4 1/4 inch cables just in case. I don't even think we used it.
We may have used
the regular. 2. Yeah, maybe. For Wire World power cables, the Aurora series, which are great. Interfaces sounded great. No hums, no buzzes.
Yeah, mainly for interface because we didn't have nothing else. And a laptop, but the laptop has its own charger.
Yep, exactly. And we also use the Wire World power conditioner for those 4, for the 3 units to work off of. So, just no hums, no buzzes, no electricity issues. But, it's a decent, really, it's a really nice venue actually. So, they're really taking care of it over there. So, it was great to work with Bowery House crew as well. Shout out to them. We always bring a couple of short stands for audience mics just in case the venue doesn't have any. A couple of Thunderbolt cables for the Claret interface that we use, one for backup. We always bring our radial stereo passive DI. Works fantastic. It's a tank. Love it. And then we bring our assortment of mics. We generally bring enough mics for at least like a 4 or 5 piece band, if need be. But shout out to Cole, who is front of house for Wallows. Great guy. We got all the pertinent information that we needed to make this happen as far as input list, stage plot. He was very easy to work with. But yeah, he used the mics that he usually uses, and we just used our mics on the direct miking stuff that we did that was separate from him, to go into our recording interfaces, which were like the bass cab mic and guitar mics and stuff like that. Then also we have 8 optical cables from Klotz as well. We only need 6. 4.
I think we only use 4. Yeah, 4. I think you only need 4 to connect 2 units, 3 units together. You have to send a signal back and forth for every unit.
Yeah.
And it takes 2 cables to connect 2 units together. So, yeah, I think 4, but we got 8 because
backups.
We bring backup
in case anything happens. Then we bring 2 pairs of headphones, which is great. The Thunderbolt unit has 2 separate headphone monitor outputs, so both me and Dennis can listen at our own volumes. They even have volume control on both headphone outputs, and an extension so we can go further than 4.5 feet. And again, we both had copies of stage plot and input lists. Again, shout out to Cole, front of house engineer for Wallows. And we always
you have to communicate with so many people on stage. You must have that.
Oh yes, but yeah, especially for recording you just really, it's like, why are we even here? But yeah, it happens a lot if you're for house sound for some venue. You've barely ever,
Yeah, true.
So it kind of depends on what's up. But I mean, they're paying us themselves. They really want it to happen, so their people should be are on top of it, and they were. And rounding out what we had in our gearbox, multi-tool, gaff tape, Sharpie, and 2 laptops loaded with Logic Pro, which we use on all of our projects. So if one went out, we had a backup.
And don't forget about the buffer size. 512 is I think a good number for 60-70 minute live recording at 24/48, 24 channels.
Sure.
Multi-track recording sometimes, I mean, when you record at 24/96, it can be a little tricky.
Sure.
But, I mean, there are different settings for, different types of projects and recording. So, accordingly, just make sure you prepare.
Yeah, this also included a video recording as well. So, yeah, going 48K is not needed for what they were going to use it for. So,
well, 48, not 96, 48.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah,
96 we would even.
There's no reason to use 96. Yeah, exactly. So,
for video purpose, and in Logic, you can even set up the frame rate for video recording. So, I mean, you can even set up the same frame rate with the camera, which we're always doing. I asked a girl who was doing camera work, and she said, "Yeah, we're doing 24 frames." So,
yep.
It's important. I mean, it's important in post production because if this
Oh yeah, you shoot
whole
you
thing
do
is not
something
syncing, then yeah, you're in
in
trouble.
30 and 24 frames. Yeah, it'll look crazy.
And 44 and 48K too. So, but I think you can convert 44K sample to 48 in order to match video.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, I mean, if you're doing this type of gig, a preparation is the key to success.
Very much so, and that brings us to the tip of the day.
The 23dB Career Tip of the Day, next on the Art of Music Tech podcast.
All right, and the career tip of the day, preparation. Be prepared.
Yes, that list that I just listed off, it was literally off of our list. Which the day before we checked everything. When you have time, do that. It's a part of your service to the client, just to make sure that everything is there and working and you're not running off to an electronic shop to get something. Have backups and be prepared.
While other, techs and musicians doing their own job on the same stage with you. So making sure that, you're not interrupting anybody while they're doing their work because they're extremely busy.
Exactly. And, it was a great gig. I felt like we were prepared and, it's a live event. So, it's always a little bit of a curveball sometimes, but
yeah, there is no time. Let's figure this out. No, you have to move on.
Exactly. And I felt like it was a great gig because there was no stress on that. Like, oh, we didn't have this, we didn't have that, I forgot about that. We had literally counted through everything the day before, made sure it was there, made sure it worked.
Setting up Focusrite units, connecting them all together. I mean, you have to go through, a few steps. Spend at least 2 hours to set it up for this particular recording because we used a Claret Thunderbolt as a main interface. We had Octave Pre and we had another Claret interface, which we were planning to use as just a extra 8 channels of preamps. So you have to do some routing in the software, then kind of turn the unit off, come back to a main unit, then connect them, then make sure you can read all the 24 channels and the signal goes through, stuff like that. And during the gig too, because during the sound check they did 3 songs, and during the sound check you don't really hear a lot in your headphones because noise and the loudness is just totally different.
Yeah, just to let you guys know our position for recording, we were stage right, like under a cubby hole where they kind of keep gear at and stuff. Like we could stand up, but that was about it. And we were kind of peering at the crowd and like over our shoulders. So yeah, we were right there with the band, so it was a very loud situation as well. So no separation. We weren't in a truck or anything. So
yes, but the cool thing was after they were done, we were able to troubleshoot some things, and I mean we realized that the keyboard was buzzing.
Yeah,
the DI box. I mean,
able to solo and really listen later.
And some ground issues with keyboard, so I mean, DI worked out perfectly in that situation.
Yep, flipped the ground and we were good to go.
And overall, a 60-minute show.
Yeah.
Right? And we heard it the day after the recording, and it sounded clean.
Yeah.
Consistent, no buzz, no hum, which was a success for us.
Yeah.
And the key to success is preparation. Be prepared for the email, for an email that you may receive to do a gig.
Exactly. Didn't know about that gig until almost just about a week before.
Before the gig, yeah.
So.
And then they didn't confirm the gig for probably another 4 days. So we really got confirmed for that gig 2 days before the date, 3 days before the date.
Yep.
Considering that, I mean, you have to prepare and pack a few things on the road, but yeah, exactly. Preparation is the key to success. And yeah, I think that's the conclusion of this episode of Art of Music Tech.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Please send us any questions to 23DB Productions. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. We're looking, please, share with friends who are into audio or just, want to know a little bit more about technical music scene in general.
And we're going to post audio and video from that particular project with the Wallows as soon as we get a link. And as soon as, because we know the Atlantic Records going to mix and edit the video and audio. So, and Nicole's going to do his own mix. So, yeah, we're going to post that as soon as possible.
All right. And thank you, everyone, for listening.
Please like, share, follow. Let us know what you think. And let's go.
Let's go.
For more information of booking 23DB Productions, visit their website at 23dbproductions.com. Like and follow 23DB Productions at Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter for the latest work.